Hi, and welcome to my channel, Overcoming Gluttony. My name is Alicia, and I used to weigh 327 pounds. I currently weigh 261 pounds. So please excuse my absence. I've been gone for 17 days due to my phone falling in the water. And rather than buying a whole new phone, I let it dry out for 2 weeks, and now we're here. I did try to record this video earlier a few days ago, but there was some technical difficulties, so I'm re-recording it now. So I'm going to tell you about my non-scale victories since changing my eating habits for the past 6 weeks. In January of 2023, I started eating like a vegan, and I say that because I'm not necessarily a vegan person. I'm just eating like one. I don't mind wearing leather. I don't mind wearing wool. Vegans typically don't do that kind of stuff, so I'm not necessarily vegan. I just eat like one. And my 2023 health goals are to walk for 1 hour before I go to work each day, as well as have my breakfast consist of 60 ounces of water and 4 servings of raw vegetables. And since doing that for 6 weeks, I've noticed a lot of changes, and this video is just going to talk about some of them. So in the past 6 weeks, I've lost 13 pounds and 5.5 inches. I've been completing my 2023 goal daily 97% of the time, so I've been pretty on track with doing it. One thing that I've noticed is that I've become more agile. I was in the process of falling, and rather than fall back and embarrass myself or hurt myself, I was able to kind of like whoop 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 whoop, like I did a little MC Hammer dance to catch myself from falling. I also noticed that I've been getting more attention from men. I work in a place where hundreds and hundreds of customers pass by me all day long, and I went to go take a break, and when I came back from my break, somebody had left their number in the spot where I stand on my podium, and it wasn't because of what my company was offering. It was somebody hitting on me. And I've also, a surprise to me is that a lot more people have been treating me friendlier, and a lot more men have been flirting with me. And the most surprising thing is that it's not just black men. That's what I expected black men to be more attracted to me, but it's been men of all races. So another thing is that I bought a skirt that was a size large, and it fit. And normally with this area of my body, there's nothing that is large. There's always 1X, 2X, 3X, never a large, but hey, we're going into new territory. Speaking of clothing, I bought this jacket, and when I took it out of the package, I immediately knew, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to send this back because this is just way too small. I just knew it was small, and I was like, this tiny thing is not going to fit on me. And sure enough, it fits, and it fits very well. It's not tight at all. Not tight at all. Another thing I noticed, excuse me, had to get my receipt right quick, is that when I was standing in line at the grocery store, I kind of felt like an orangutan. Yeah, I felt like a primate because of all the food that was on the conveyor belt when I was checking out. I'm going to list to you some of the things. I had dried figs, dried figs, dates, apricots, several packages of cucumbers, raisins, several packages of cherry tomatoes, 3 bags of carrots, some limes, some potatoes, bananas, and 24 avocados. yeah, I'm not used to shopping like that. So when I saw all that stuff on the conveyor belt, I'm like, yeah. Another thing is I've developed some skills to help me be healthier. I, in a way, feel like a model. I don't know how I can say that if I've never been a model, but it's just like, rather than just eat, because that's what I usually do, I just eat until I can't fit any more food in my stomach. I've developed some skills to help me recognize gluttony and what is appropriate. So now when it's time for me to eat a dessert, my method that I set for myself, which kind of makes me feel like a model, is I'll say if it can be the size of the palm of my hand. You know, it can be the size of the palm of my hand. So if it can fit in the palm of my hand, that is appropriate. And I can have 2 palmfuls, not whole handfuls, but 2 just palmfuls of dessert. And anything beyond that is gluttonous. So that's pretty neat, coming from the perspective of somebody who would just eat until they can't fit any more in their stomach. Woohoo, me! There's been significant changes in my body. There's dents in right here. There's a dent here. My face is a lot smaller. I have indentations here. Sometimes I feel like my arms, my wrist looks like broomsticks, and there's more definition and toning in my body. I can turn down potlucks. What an accomplishment. I am somebody that used to have 6 to 7 plates in front of me at a potluck and not be ashamed about it. And now when there's some delicious multicultural food at my job, I don't have a desire for it. They have all kinds of people bringing their best foods in. No desire. Because I have my meal prep food and I'm not hungry. I don't need to eat unless I'm hungry, even if there's tons and tons of food. That is so amazing. So amazing. This is another thing that's really special to me. I appreciate supporting small businesses. And my friend, a former coworker, was getting her hustle on selling Valentine's Day baskets that contain chocolates and teddy bears and all kinds of other different types of goodies and whatnot. Now, I knew that she was on hard times and that she could really use the money. So I looked at her Valentine's Day baskets and I was going to buy one. I don't really have a Valentine or a boo thing to send one to. And there was one basket that I kind of would want, but I didn't want it. It had popcorn in it that was covered with like caramel or something like that. And I was like, ooh, that might be good. But then I thought about it and I was like, I don't want to put all that sugar in my body. So I sent her a text message or email and I was like, hey, do you mind if I just donate to your business rather than actually purchasing anything? And she was like, yeah, that's fine. So that's what I did. Rather than buying stuff in order to support a friend and a small business, which is stuff I really enjoy doing, I was just made a donation. So I could have just justified, oh, well, I'm helping my friend out, so I'm going to get these chocolates or these sweets and all that. No, I just made a donation. So that was really, really big because I definitely could have talked myself into justifying, buying unhealthy food. Another significant non-scale victory is I felt a moment of great grief. I declined to go to a close friend of mine's wedding. And I felt very sorrowful because I knew that she was going to be sorrowful that I declined to go to her wedding. And my reasons for declining were selfish. It was selfish. And in thinking about the sorrow that that friend was going to feel, it triggered my emotions to remind me of sorrow that I heard in my little sister's voice a few years before she passed away, before she committed suicide. So I gave my sister some $100 dolls, and I let her know that she can't play with them because they're collectibles. And she's like 9 or 10 years old, and she's like, oh, well, why can't I play with them? And I tried to explain to her, why these dolls you don't play with. And oftentimes I feel the enemy brings that back up to me, about how I didn't let her play with the dolls and how she was sad. And I think that he uses that to kind of work on me a little bit. And I do feel great grief about that, because she ended up committing suicide a few years later at 12 years old. And I'm like, if I would have known that was going to happen, of course, I wouldn't be petty about telling her, no, you can't play with those $100 dolls. I would have been like, have fun, So, me being triggered by the sorrow that I felt like my friend would have in not coming to her wedding, and being reminded of my little sister's suicide and sorrow that I caused her prior to her suicide. Typically, I would turn to Mexican food. But thank God, instead of for doing that, I chose to pray. Yeah. So I gained 80 pounds after my little sister's suicide due to poor coping methods with dealing with that grief and that trauma. And now, fortunately, I'm displaying better behaviors in handling those emotions. So another non-scale victory is with becoming vegan. I've been having so much energy. It's almost uncomfortable. It's like, gosh, people should really find out about this, eating vegetables and whole grains and eating, having fruit peels in your smoothies. This is just so much energy. I get so much energy that I was actually thinking about becoming a cop. I was like, I'm going to change and shift gears and really get fit and healthy and become a cop. And I'm 41 years old thinking about becoming a cop. Why? Because I have all this extra energy. And I was really serious. I was going to research, what it would be like to become a woman cop. But because I don't wear pants, it wasn't really doable. Another non-scale victory is that, and this is just a few, okay? I'm giving you all these, and it's not even all of my non-scale victories. It's just a few of them. Another thing is that I've learned more about my body. I didn't know that you could step on the scale, go to the bathroom, and then step on the scale again, and then, wow, you lose a lot of weight, I didn't know that your body can fluctuate in 10 pounds within one day, just depending on what you're eating, drinking, and how your digestive system is working. I didn't know all that. So, that was something new I learned. Other non-scale victories is my belly button is higher. So instead of it being as low, it's higher up. I also have a better sense of smell, which I don't like, because it's kind of annoying to be able to smell everything on different levels. Like I can smell multiple levels of things, which is a little annoying. And another great thing is that I now view food as medicine and energy. I no longer see food as a confidant, a lover, a therapist, the life of the party, a friend, all these things. I used to view food as that type of stuff. You know, food is my friend. Food, if you go back and watch my very first vlog, you'll see that I'm kind of sorrowful about not just stuffing food in my mouth until my heart's content, because that was my way of handling things. So now, instead of foreseeing it as a therapist, a confidant, a lover, life of the party, as all these exalted things that I used to idolize it as, I now view it as medicine and energy. And when I make a food choice, I ask myself, is this medicinal? And is this going to provide me with energy? So thank you so much for sharing this time with me and hearing about my non-scale victories. I look forward to seeing you all, and due to my camera being broken, I will be vlogging 3 times a day at least for the next week. I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.